Airstrikes have played a crucial role in modern warfare, often serving as the deciding factor in battles and conflicts. Among these, the largest and most significant airstrike in history occurred during Operation Desert Storm in 1991. This massive aerial campaign, part of the Gulf War, marked a turning point in the use of air power and demonstrated the devastating effectiveness of precision bombing and advanced military technology. The airstrike, conducted by a coalition of 39 nations, led by the United States, was unprecedented in scale and impact, fundamentally altering the course of the conflict and reshaping military strategy for decades to come. The prelude to Desert Storm. The Gulf War was triggered by Iraq's invasion of Kuwait on August 2, 1990. Under the leadership of Saddam Hussein, Iraq sought to annex Kuwait, claiming historical ownership and attempting to seize control of its vast oil reserves. The invasion was met with international condemnation, leading to the formation of a coalition force under the auspices of the United Nations. The coalition, comprising nations from around the world, including the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt, was tasked with liberating Kuwait and restoring its sovereignty. As diplomatic efforts to resolve the crisis failed, the coalition began preparing for military action. The strategy was divided into two phases: a massive air campaign to degrade Iraq's military capabilities, followed by a ground assault to drive Iraqi forces out of Kuwait. The air campaign, codenamed Operation Desert Storm, commenced on January 17, 1991, and would go down in history as the largest airstrike ever conducted. The scale and scope of the air campaign. Operation Desert Storm's air campaign was unprecedented in its scale, involving over 2,250 aircraft from the coalition forces. These aircraft were drawn from various branches of the military, including the United States Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps, as well as Allied air forces. The sheer number of sorties flown, over 100,000 in a span of just 42 days, underscored the magnitude of the operation. This relentless bombardment was aimed at crippling Iraq's military infrastructure, command and control centers, air defenses, and essential supply lines. The air campaign was meticulously planned and executed. It was designed to achieve air supremacy, ensuring that coalition forces could operate with minimal resistance from Iraqi air defenses. To this end, the coalition targeted Iraq's radar installations, missile batteries, and communication networks in the opening hours of the campaign. The first wave of attacks included the use of stealth bombers, such as the F-117 Nighthawk, which played a critical role in neutralizing key Iraqi targets without being detected by radar. In addition to stealth bombers, the coalition deployed a wide array of aircraft, including fighter jets, bombers, attack helicopters, and electronic warfare planes. The F-15 Eagle, F-16 Fighting Falcon, and A-10 Thunderbolt IA were among the most prominent aircraft used in the campaign. These aircraft carried out precision strikes using advanced munitions such as laser-guided bombs and cruise missiles, which allowed for accurate targeting with minimal collateral damage. Strategic objectives and targeting. The primary objective of the air campaign was to dismantle Iraq's military capabilities and create the conditions for a successful ground assault. To achieve this, coalition forces focused on several key targets. Command and control centers. The coalition aimed to disrupt Iraq's ability to coordinate its military operations by targeting command bunkers, communication facilities, and leadership compounds. This effort was intended to sever the lines of communication between Iraqi commanders and their forces on the ground. Air defenses. To ensure air superiority, the coalition prioritized the destruction of Iraq's air defenses, including surface-to-air missile, SAM, sites, anti-aircraft artillery, and radar installations. By neutralizing these threats, coalition aircraft could operate with relative impunity, conducting strikes across Iraq with minimal risk. Airfields and aircraft. The coalition targeted Iraqi air bases and aircraft to prevent the Iraqi Air Force from posing a significant threat. Many Iraqi aircraft were either destroyed on the ground or forced to flee to neighboring Iran, effectively neutralizing Iraq's air power early in the campaign. Infrastructure and logistics. The coalition also targeted Iraq's infrastructure, including bridges, roads, and supply depots, to disrupt the movement of troops and supplies. This effort was aimed at isolating Iraqi forces in Kuwait and preventing them from reinforcing their positions or retreating effectively. Weapons of mass destruction. WMD sites. Given the concern that Iraq might use chemical or biological weapons, the coalition conducted strikes against suspected WMD production and storage facilities. These strikes were intended to eliminate the threat of WMD use and further degrade Iraq's military capabilities, impact, and outcomes. The air campaign of Operation Desert Storm had a profound impact on the outcome of the Gulf War. Over the course of 42 days, coalition forces systematically dismantled Iraq's military infrastructure, rendering its forces in Kuwait vulnerable and isolated. The precision of the airstrikes minimized civilian casualties and limited damage to non-military targets, a significant advancement compared to earlier conflicts. The success of the air campaign was evident when the ground offensive, codenamed Operation Desert Sabre, was launched on February 24, 1991. The Iraqi forces, weakened and demoralized by weeks of relentless bombing, offered little resistance. In just 100 hours, coalition forces achieved a decisive victory, liberating Kuwait and forcing Iraq to surrender. The air campaign's success demonstrated the effectiveness of air power in modern warfare. It showcased the capabilities of advanced military technology, including stealth aircraft, precision-guided munitions, and electronic warfare systems. The lessons learned from Operation Desert Storm influenced military strategy and doctrine for years to come, particularly in the United States and allied nations. Legacy and lessons. Operation Desert Storm's air campaign set a new standard for the use of air power in warfare. It highlighted the importance of achieving air superiority and demonstrated how precision strikes could decisively impact the course of a conflict. The campaign also underscored the value of coalition warfare, with multiple nations contributing their air forces and sharing the burden of the campaign. One of the key lessons from the air campaign was the importance of intelligence and surveillance in modern warfare. The coalition's ability to identify and target critical Iraqi military assets was a testament to the effectiveness of intelligence gathering and analysis. The use of satellite imagery, reconnaissance aircraft, and other surveillance technologies allowed coalition forces to conduct strikes with remarkable accuracy. Another important lesson was the need for adaptability in the face of evolving threats. The coalition's ability to neutralize Iraq's air defenses and maintain air superiority throughout the campaign was crucial to its success. This required constant innovation and flexibility as coalition forces adapted their tactics to counter Iraqi strategies and minimize risks. Finally, the air campaign of Operation Desert Storm highlighted the psychological impact of airstrikes. The relentless bombing campaign not only degraded Iraq's military capabilities, but also demoralized its forces and leadership. The sheer scale and intensity of the airstrikes sent a clear message of the coalition's resolve and technological superiority, contributing to Iraq's eventual defeat. The air campaign of Operation Desert Storm remains the largest and most significant airstrike in history. Its scale, precision, and impact were unprecedented, setting a new benchmark for the use of air power in modern warfare. The campaign demonstrated the effectiveness of advanced military technology and the importance of air superiority in achieving strategic objectives. The lessons learned from Desert Storm continue to influence military strategy and doctrine, making it a landmark event in the history of warfare. Thanks for watching.